Hey guys, Nina here, welcoming you to another reading from the Ladies of Horror Picture Prompt Monthly Challenge, hosted by Elaine Pascale on her channel, The Godmother of Horror. If you'd like to read along or read previously published pieces, please visit spreadingthewritersword.com or ladiesofhorror.com. In the meanwhile, enjoy the reading.
Burn Pit Prophet by Donna J.W. Munro. By the time the last flame died and the coals cooled, I wasn't myself. My sun-browned skin crackled with black ridges, weeping valleys, and crusted plateaus. My braids had melted away, leaving only the wiry strands of metal I'd plated in before they'd come for us. On the charcoal appendages that were once fingers, metal shadows marked the places where my love had given me gifts and treasures to wear, now melted away but for the brand they left in the process. I'd walked through the fire pit they'd put us in, climbed over the charred bodies of the other conquered mothers and children they'd offered their gods as payment for their works. They kept only our land, our animals, our treasures. All else became offering. The leaders sneered at our ways, said living as we did, without men leading, without warriors bleeding, meant we were an insane cult. Something so aberrant that we threatened the balance of the world, that our traditions, our songs, our prayers, even our gods had to be scrubbed from the memory of the world. I stood before their chief, a fat, painted demon man who spoke in grunts and shouts. I knew we had done no wrong. Others cried, begged, promised. But I saw the madness in the chief's eyes. I saw the greed in his men-at-arms, the sneers of disgust when they saw our naked shoulders and knees. We were offensive to their power. We were a plague that they, only they, could wipe from all the earth. None of the cries or pleas mattered in the face of their insanity. No empathy can exist in a vacuum of love. The pit we dug would be our grave, they told us that. Why did the others dig? The fathers and mothers did it so their children might live a little more life. The lovers did it hoping that compliance would allow them to escape. The children did it because the world hadn't taught them to fear the unhinged beliefs of maniacs. So they dug. I prayed. I prayed to the ocean god to wash us away to safety. I beseeched our huntress to send the animals of the wood against the warriors, clashing their swords in excitement. I mumbled and shouted to the mother to open her cavernous mouth beneath us and swallow us up into the safety of her gut until the madness had passed. My prayers were just as futile as the digging. None of it stopped the madman's rampage. Every work of beauty they'd ever made, palace to shop, boats and huts, mosaics and frescoes, all turned into towers of ash as the pit grew deeper. Next to the growing pile of earth from the hole, the warriors piled wood down from the homes, boats and carts. Scrolls and paintings were piled to be lit as tinder. Please, the elders said when the mad chief called for the ramps to be blocked with us in a deep hole. As the warriors shoved the wood down the ramp toward us, others poured flaming pitch in on all sides of the pit, until we stood in the burny, oily stew, not able to plead for our lives. As we cooked, scorching from foot to thigh and falling as muscles melted away in the slurry, our coherent pleas grew into a song of terrible truths. The gods must have finally heard. The flames leapt up fast then, ending the others with a burst of quick heat, taking away their breath so they all fell senseless into the conflagration. All but me. I burned. I felt every licking flame charring away layer after layer of my youthful flesh. My eyes cooked into stone, and the fat inside boiled away and cooked the insides of me into plates of stiff leather. Above, the warriors sang songs of thanksgiving to the sky god, promising their faithfulness, promising to cleanse the whole earth of non-believers. Under their songs, I heard the whispers. I heard what the real forces of life promised. They couldn't save us from our own rot. Humans hurting humans, ugly as it wasn't their business. But they could make it mine. They could make me strong enough. The army marched while the fire still burned. Our sister city, a day to the east, lay open to them like a mother's hug, and they'd take it. They'd take everything. I rose when the fire finally burned away all that was weak in me. The ash that colored my ridges and valleys had been my mother's and brother's. The bone shards piercing the blackened underside of my feet had been my children and my grandmother's. My father's screams lay in my throat, ready to vibrate the flesh from their muscles and bones with the songs they'd silenced. I rose, a prophet of murdered people, a sibyl for a civilization made ash. I followed the stench of their madness. I moved like a flame across pitch. I danced like a fire of sunset. I'd show them what it felt like to burn. I'd speak until their arrogant celebrations became blood-gurgling pleas. And I wouldn't stop, because the fire had burned me into an ashy vacuum. My heart was charcoal. I was full of a flame that burned only for them.